question of are you allowed to copy CD, are you allowed to copy the page of the Gemara? Always it says, do not copy. So this is a question always. So I'm going to try to simplify it. This is a long discussion, but I want to try to focus first on the goy to explain. We paskin gezel akin as awesome in our Torah. You're not allowed to steal from a goy a penny, nothing. You're not allowed to steal. Many people don't know this. Many people think it's a derabbanan. Many people think the mitzvah to steal from a goy. But we paskin gezel akin is awesome in our Torah. Period. I'm not allowed to fool a goy. I'm not gonna focus on that. But there's another question in the Gemara always when it talks about if I use someone's object, shoyel, shaloi, medat. If I use someone's object without his permission, the Gemara calls him gazlan. That means if I would come, take your car without your permission, use your hat, use your stender, or anything, the Gemara says, that's called a shoyel, shaloi, medat, is a gazlan. Anyone who learns Yeshiva, the Masechtas knows that it has many ramifications. It's not just you're not allowed to do it. You become responsible. If I would pick up an object without permission. There was a true story in the local school by us. 13, Abba Mitzvah got a very expensive pen. His grandfather bought him a multi-blank pen, a very expensive pen. And a boy picked it up and wanted to see it without his permission. And another boy ran into him, the pen went flying and broke. All these 13-year-olds came to to me, like, who is responsible over here? So I explained to them, you picked up the pen without permission. He didn't give you permission. He wasn't even aware about it. He picked up the pen. You called the shoyel, shalom medas. You become responsible. You know what I mean? You are responsible for him. I mean, that's a general rule. Shoyel, shalom medas. The famous question is, Ba'agoy, do we say shoyel shloim b'das is awesome? Can I go and use an object without permission? I don't know this neighborhood. Let me just tell you my neighborhood. There's a shul, Young Israel, and across the street is Ralph's. And in the morning you can't park, so people park in Ralph's. The big sign: if you don't shop here, don't park here. So every time a guy parks there, he has to say, Al chet shechatoni lefenechu, that I was a shoyel shloim b'das. That's the question. It doesn't make a difference in the corporation. They say, we don't want you to use the place, only if you shop here. So if you park your car there, you're shoyel shloim b'das. But there's a famous Elchonon Harav, really based, he explains it at great length. It's not his chiddush, it's really a Ramah, and you don't have time to say, but if you will look it up, it's a Ramah in Hilchas Pesach, and it's a Ramah in Hilchas Tfilas Kelim, and it's a long Taz in Hilchas Tfilas Kelim. So many Acharim speak about, he explains it very well, the Elchonon Harav. He says the din shoyel shloim b'das ba'agoy does not apply. And many rayas, one of the famous rayas is Hilchas Tfilas Kelim. It's a Gemara. The Gemara says, Gemara has a question, if I'm a shkanta, mashkin, from a goy, you have to toivel. The Gemara says, if you borrow keli from a goy, you don't have to toivel. It's not yours. But if I took it as a mashkin, the Gemara has a question, yes or no. In the Gemara, it seems clearly that I'm allowed to use it as obvious. I didn't ask the goy. The question is, the mashkin, since I have a kinyan in it, do I have to toivel or not? Wait a minute. The goy didn't give permission. A mashkin is a claro. Yeah, but somebody, I gave a guy $1,000 loan. He gave me a nice gold vase, and I want to use it. So have a minute. I should want to use it. He didn't give me permission. So that Gemara is mashma that there is no problem. There is another fascinating, difficult Gemara, and I will try to explain it very easily. On Pesach, there's a din. You're not allowed to have chametz. No chametz. If I have chametz of a goy, and I am responsible for it, So it means it's not mine. The guy had brought chametz, put it into my house, and I'll watch it. I'm a kabbalah achrayut. I have a achrayut on it. Then you over bal yiruah b'yemotza. It's not mine. I think what it says, it doesn't have to be yours. If you are responsible for the chametz, that means it gets stolen, taken away. It's considered yours since you have the chayyim. What happens comes Erev Pesach and the guy didn't pick up the chametz? What should I do? So Elchonon says you burn it. Burn it? How do I burn the guy's chametz? It's not mine. Because we have a problem over here. I'm not allowed to destroy the guy's object because I'm a ganef. And the problem is another problem. If I don't destroy it, I have a chrayot, I'm over bar yirah b'yemotza. How does these two things work? So the Chazon Ish is the one who asked the kasha. The Shulchan Harav, who was much earlier than him, over 200 years before him, he says, this is a raya that there's no din shoy shlem edas. That means even better. I am allowed to destroy a guy's object and pay for it. For instance, I'm not allowed to destroy your table and have a mind to buy you a new table. I'm going to come to your house. A friend of mine told me, his father's a yeshiva, and this Talmidim came, stole all the furniture, everything was falling apart, didn't tell them about new furniture. He gave them a whole speech. You're not allowed to do that. I mean, they wanted to surprise him, and he was away in the summer. Can I steal your furniture and get rid of it and buy new furniture? You're not allowed to. I'm a ganef. I have to ask you. Maybe you're masking, maybe not. Maybe the new furniture you're kind of, but maybe he wants to sell the old. You have no idea. But a goy, I'm allowed to destroy his object if I want to pay him. Because there's no demazig by a goy. The issa of mazig is by a yid. But if I mazig a goy, I'm a nas l'shalem, I'm allowed to do this. This is based on a sugya in Bava Kama. If you want to look it up, Kif Yid Gimel Amud Aleph in the Rosh. That it's wouldn't the sugya there. We don't have enough time to go through the whole sugya. But if I go destroy a goy's chayfetz and I want to pay for him, I'm not a ganef. By yid, if I want to destroy something, I want to make it short from the Gemara's the Mavur. If I take a Jewish person's grapes without his permission, I pass the vineyard. I want to take him, I plan to pay him. I'm not allowed to do it. Many people think it's okay. I plan to pay him. So I pass a guy's vineyard and I want to take grapes and I really plan, no question, I have the cash, I'm going to pay, I'm going to forget. I have the cash in my hand, I'm not allowed to do it by Yid. By Goy, I'm allowed to. Because by Goy, there's no din shoy shlemedas, there's no din mazik if you plan to pay him. The only thing is you're mazik, you don't plan to pay, you become a gazelin. That's how it's moving in the sugya. Says from here, says the Shulchan, that's the answer to Chometz of Pesach. You're allowed to burn it, but you have to pay him. I'm allowed to add a Pesach, take the guy's chometz, burn it, and so I won't be everybody or buying matzah, but I will have to pay him. So what comes out from this, by goy, there's no din shoy shloi medas. That means you take an object from a goy without his permission. You're not a ganav. So if a guy, I don't know this neighborhood, but I'm sure that happens to many people. They park in a place, in a Harav's, one of these huge places. You don't go shopping there. According to the Shulchan Harav, it's a goyish company. There's no issa. It's a chil Hashem. I'm talking about the chil Hashem problem. I'm just talking about the question of a ganav.
You have to pay back though. You have to pay for the parking.
Parking. They don't charge parking. They just say they don't charge for the parking. They don't want you to park. Us, there's a huge parking in my neighborhood. A huge parking. And it's humongous. I don't even know why the house has such a huge parking. But I come in and saw the shul in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, the early minyan. I notice always the people, I should say young is a few blocks away, they park there. They don't charge money. I don't know, maybe the parking gate to charge money, but they don't charge money, just don't want you to park.
If you ask them, they say they want to pay for the parking, they say pay.
No, they don't, it's just, I don't know. If you're right, that's not, let's say they're not interested in your paying. Most of these stores now, you're going to pay them a few dollars. They just don't want you to park. Finish. They run a...
Even if it is nehene velo zo chaser, ze nehene velo chaser. That's the name of the
That's not the Zenez of the Chassid.
I know, but it's not Chassid.
No. I don't want to go into that sig. That's not applies over here. I have a business. I don't want people to pay. I want to be easy for people to park there, even though I'm allowed to have 15-room bedroom. You say I don't want you to come and sleep there. I have 50 bedrooms. What am I going to do with 50 bedrooms? Baruch Hashem, I'm married over my children already. What do I have 15? But I'm allowed to have mishigasim. You know what I mean? Yiddish, we say everyone has a mishigas and a mishugan has one too many. I'm sure you heard this. We all have a little bit of craziness. But you know, I'm allowed to have 15 bedrooms and say I don't want anyone to live this. My mishigas. I don't want to go into this. That doesn't apply over here. They have a right to say we don't want anyone to park, even though we're not going to lose business. Anyways.
I'm just saying the Chumra, even if it is, some posting the Chatchila is also. Even if it is. Why is not the name of the
Chassid is not talking about when I made a rule, I don't want people to park there. Everyone agrees. The Mechlekes was in the Chassid in the Gemara. The Mechlekes if you have to pay, the Mechlekes will get Chilas also. But I am allowed to say, you have a house and you have an extra room, and so I don't want you to be there. Why? Even though they have I don't want to. Can I have an empty house? I have an empty house. I'm not even there. And you want to sneak into it. I have a right to say I don't want. Even though there's no rhyme or reason. Stam, I'm a shigas. As I tell people in this halacha, we are all entitled to our mishigasim. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't go into it. That's very complicated. I just want to come back. So according to this, coming to what we just said over here, that you're allowed to park in a place of, from a goy. There's no din shoyish lemedas. So the question is now, can you copy things from a goy? That's the famous question. If I have a disc, can I download, this is the young people always ask me, can I download music? And I'll explain so different Yiddish music, Goyish music, but let's talk about intellectual property first, to understand. Is there such a thing in the Torah, intellectual property? That means someone works hard and develops the software. He didn't do anything, he didn't build a house. I mean, it's intellectual property. I always like to explain, the Goyim also believe there's no such thing as intellectual property. What's my proof? A guy develops a medicine, and he has 7 years patent rights. The company has 7 years. Can you go over to someone and say, you wear your shirt for 7 years, it's enough, I'm going to steal it from you? I mean, if they develop a patent, let's say a company spent who knows how much $1 million to develop a medicine, and after 7 years, I have a right to copy it? Even more, a guy once told me, a patent lawyer, there's a law that in the industry, if someone comes up with a patent of safety, let's say on a car or airplane, it's a famous story about a car with the first lawsuit, for airplane, I must sell it to anyone, and they'll tell me already, figure out how much it's worth. I mean, it's my thing. If I don't want to sell it, if I want to sell my patent for $1 billion, they have a law. It's the safety thing. See, they also agree that intellectual property is not gezel. Stam, I'm explaining the Gemara, from the Gemara is also mashma. It's not gezel. The proof is, let me just say, we live in Hollywood over here. That I was told that the movies and the books is 100 years you're not allowed to copy. So I asked many years ago a lawyer, what was the difference? They have better lobbyists. That's what it was. They came up with 7 years, and they came up with another number. Have better lobbyists. What difference does it make? If you developed a film, or you developed a medicine, or what is? So you see that they also agree that this is, because no such thing, you own your shirt 100 years, I'm allowed to steal it from you. It's enough, you had it from. So you see, there is such a concept. So now the question is, if I take away intellectual property from a goy, that is the question. So, let's say they developed the software program, and I sneak into Bill Gates' house, I take off the disk, put it onto my thing, download it, put it back. What exactly did I do? I was a shoyish lemedas. It's his disk, He doesn't want me to use it. I picked up his disc, put it into my laptop, downloaded it, picked it up, and put it back. So what exactly? I used his disc without his permission. Shosh Lamidas Bagoy doesn't apply.
It's more than that. You use it and then you download it for future use.
Yeah, so what did I do? What did I do?
You take away his parnasa, I don't know.
Well, what did I do? You can't get emotional. We got to focus on it. What did I do exactly? I took his disc and I used it. I used the Shloim Midas.
It's not physical, for sure. It's not physical.
What?
It's not physical, but you took
Yeah,
it
so
away.
where does the Torah say now? What does the Torah say? I take something not physical from you, an idea. If you have an idea, I know we have in this Mirot, the Ashkenazim, an interesting payet. One of the payet there's a famous story. There was a chazan, in Ashkenaz in Europe, the chazan and the rabbi and the shoichet lived in one chatzer. And the chazan was singing away, and the rabbi couldn't learn. And he was the Baal Musaf, and the big chazan, and the rabbi was supposed to down Shachar, and he begged him, Shachar, he sang all his nigunim. I called him to the entire. I composed the nigunim. This is the famous shua written. It's even, they even have a piet about it. That you created a nigun. It's very nice. I'll explain where the Gemara says you're not allowed to take it away. But to create a nigun, there's no ownership. I don't have something in my hand. It's a great idea. It's great music. Where do you see this? It's a very interesting Gemara in Bobasa. I think Chav Beis or the Chav Gimel and Yachad Kollel. The Gemara says like this: there was a guy went and he tracked fish in the ocean. He tracked with bread and John. So the Gemara says over there, another person is not allowed to come and take the fish. So he says the kasha. What do you mean? Well, it's not his. It's the fish in the ocean. The guy did the bread and whatever tricks he did to try to track in, he's catching them. So the Gemara says, you're not allowed to. It's a whole sugi if you look it up. So he says, the kasha, what? It's hefker. The fish is hefker in the yam. Toises says, here we learn a good din. It's eine bedin. It's not correct, not yosher, that he worked so hard to track the fish, and you come and on his back, on his shoulder, on his work, take his panasa. So Toises also says it's not from the Gemara. We don't have enough time. It's also he's not a ganav. Toises explains it's not yosher. It's not correct. It's not proper to do that. So that again does not apply to a goy, because there's no din. It's another sugi in Bavakam Bavasa. There's no din groma. Goy, you know what groma is? Like causing a loss to someone. You know, when it talks about by going, there's no din groma. It's only by eat. But Al Kapanim, again, coming back, so he developed a software, Microsoft. He's a guy. I took his CD, I borrowed it, put it on my computer, put it back. So I took away his intellectual property. That's all we did. You see, I always point this out, the Goyim also understand that intellectual property is not their property. The proof to this, you see, they make a difference. If it's a medicine, it's 7 years. It's a film, it's 100 years. Everything has, I forgot how, I once looked it up many years ago, everything. And I asked the thing, they decided, you know what I mean? Everyone asks me, what do you say?
Can we compare this to stealing a fire? Somebody has a flame and you go and steal it.
A flame?
A flame. You have the flame and someone goes and steals the flame. This is, maybe we can compare this to that, no? It's a software. I just borrow the CD, put it back in.
I mean, I love it. You mean take a cigarette for someone's flame, light a fire. Yeah. You didn't take anything, did you?
So can we compare
Yes,
this
the
together?
same, yeah. That's even by Yid. I'm not even sure there's the Shoshana B'das such a place. That's a whole sugya and ila about this.
Even
That's a good
copying the
question.
CD by a Jew, copying.
But I'll get in a Jew in a minute. I'll explain it.
If somebody has an intellectual idea, he gives the lecture and everybody listens and picks it up. Or he puts it on a CD and somebody steals the CD. Is there a difference between them, or Rabbi thinks that they're the same?
So the same, but you mean, what's the difference?
Over there he spoke it out, it's not tangible, it's nothing.
It's not tangible in the CD, it's the information's on the
No, but he
CD.
put it inside the program, in other words, he
It's
put
not
it inside.
the same idea.
Now it's something you are taking from it.
Yeah.
Over there is idea.
It's intellectual property, that's all what it is. A guy made a film, right? He took a beautiful picture, and he doesn't want you to copy the picture. It's intellectual property. They agree. I mean, this is This is music. You composed the nagin. So the only isser is that the Tosha says it's not yosher, not bedin. You work so hard, and I should take it from you.
Person makes a program for something, let's say for business, or for shidduch, or for something. Now that program works in computer and you could use it. Now that's an object that you use it in your object. In other words,
It's not an object because
that program, the mechanic of that put in computer and program
yeah, but
everything that you could.
there's nothing there. If I download it, it's not. I copied your. You know how to write software.
Yeah, but that, no, but
I
that
have two children. I
program,
have two children write software, but it doesn't work the way you think. It's just information on a disk. And I took the information and put it on another disk. I gave it back. You lost nothing. Microsoft, when I took away his disk, did not lose anything. I copied it. That's all I did.
there are two deals. One that you lose anything or you gain something from it.
Yeah. So what's
Yeah.
wrong gaining? That's the
That
question.
chokhmah of the program.
So
putting it
is
together.
there balas on chachma?
If somebody
Yeah, so
lecture
that's the
is
question.
outside,
Is there
but
such a
here-
thing? That's the question. Is there such a thing? Balas on chachma. I came up with an idea. I came up with a patent. Is there such a thing? Balas.
The fact that you put it in computer and that now your computer could respond to that.
Yeah, but that's wisdom. I put together a great idea.
And what happens with
Dina de Malchut Adina.
Yeah, I was going to explain that. Let me explain that. Dina Machis Dina. This is. You have to speak up. I don't hear well. Speak up.
No, the fish. He loves fish. He's losing fish, no?
Yeah, so the Gemara says he's not allowed to. It's ain't a bit by ye, you're not allowed to. That's only by ye, the Gemara says.
He's losing
Right.
something when he takes the fish. But here, doesn't it?
Hey, it's better, you mean, that he can lose. But he's pointing out it's even better than there, but the Marshal, the Yam Shlema,
Fish is hefker. In other words, there is a mile and chisor.
yeah, but the Yam Shlema says from there we learn anything like this, that a person work, that's why a person, it says do not copy, right? Look in all articles, it says do not copy. A lot of money went in, and it's not Yosher. They said that they say do not copy, in Halacha it's worthless. Let me just tell you, Halacha it's worthless. Because if I bought it, it's mine. I could do whatever I want with it. That's the real truth.
They could make it a condition.
But they didn't. They can make a condition. I'm selling you the Gemara, chutz, the rights to copy. There's such a thing in Gemara. But they don't. It says do not copy. Imagine I sell you my chair and I tell you do not stand on the chair. What do you mean? I bought it. It's my chair. I want to stand on the chair. It's my Gemara. I paid for it. And you tell me not to copy?
If I make it Tanai in the Kenya,
Well, you didn't make it Tanai. You have to make a whole Tanai. All it says, do not copy. All it says of it.
Copyright is
It's not a Tanai. You need to make a Tanai. Tanai b'nei God b'nei Lid. It's Hilchas Tanon. And
No,
Chosh
we
Mishpat,
understood between each other.
that doesn't
that's
help.
Tanai.
Hilchas Mishpat, these things, I don't want, this is this whole sugya. If you learn Chosh Mishpat, Hilchas Tanon, it doesn't work. So let me just address the Dina Machisa Dina. So this is one of the most misquoted things when people ask me. The Dina Machisa Dina does not mean that I am not allowed to speed on the freeway. You don't speed on the freeway if it's dangerous. If a guy crosses the middle of the street, he has to say Erev Yom Kippur, Chatosi, Unya, that I cross the middle of the street. Or do I have to learn the local constitution to know every law? Dina the Machisa Dina says that if we let me make it simple. Let's say the Jews of Bnei Brak, it's a city full of Jews. Any Jewish city. We made a law that if you park on the wrong side of the street, we'll put a fine for you, a ticket. We'll tow your car. You know, if you tow your car, you know, you guys know if anyone you towed your car over here, you're in trouble. You know, they make you pay through your nose. So let's say do it Bnei Brak. You guys scream, chutzpah. Dina Machisa Dina says we got together, we have Dina Machisa, we could tow your car, we're not a ganav. If a guy parks now illegally, does he have to say al chetchach tun lefenecha that I parked illegally? No, but we have a right to tow the car. That guy parks on the red zone. Does he have to now say that chetchach tun lefenecha I parked in the red zone? No, you park in the red zone. We are going to tow your car. I remember when FedEx first came out with its business. So they like at Chilla double parked. Then they changed the laws that allowed to double park. I don't know if you remember, some of you don't remember this. I remember seeing that, you know, and they said they got tickets, and that's part of the business. In New York City, in Manhattan, you're not allowed to double park, UPS double parks, and that's just part of the business. You got a ticket, that's how UPS runs the business. It's just part of the cost of the business. The only thing we did on Avla, Dina, but Dina Chisadina says we could charge you a ticket. Dina Chisadina, the only place where else, Dina Chisadina has the famous tshuva, if it facilitate business. If business gets facilitated, then Dina Chisadina kicks in. I'll give a mashal. For half time, I'll give a mashal soon. But again, so Dina Chisadina does not mean I am not allowed to speed. That means if you speed, we give you a ticket. What's your headache? That's what Dina Chisadina. So they tell me, do not copy. So I copied. So I sped on the freeway. Big deal. So I don't have to say al-chet. They have a right to put me into jail. That's Dina Mechisa. Dina Mechisa says, I don't know the laws, if it's a felony or whatever, it's misdemeanor, I don't know exactly. But if they do it, they'll do whatever do. But it's not, he doesn't have to say to the Bnei Shalom, chet shechatoni lefanechu, I copied CD, or Dina Mechisa does not mean that. To add just to this, there's a very famous Chassim Sofer. I want to make it just more practical. If you ever learn the Gemara says, I have once a huge didn't tell it this way, Mamish. The Gemara says, if I took a loan from him, I took a loan from him. So if his loan was first, he has a lien on my property. And if there's something left, he would get it. That's it. So I took a loan from him last year. This year I took a loan from him. And now, if there's nothing to pay, so that he gets the first right, the thing. And nowadays, it doesn't, if you didn't register, you didn't file for that, you didn't put a lien, the whole legal ways, then I had such a case. There were two people, one gave a loan, and it was his brother-in-law, so they didn't file it, didn't put it. The second one took a loan, he made it official, he made a lien, and the guy couldn't pay, and came, took away that. Brother came, I gave him the first loan. It was 3 years before you gave him a loan. So that has such a marshal, that Dina Mechisadina kicks in, because that facilitates business. Nowadays, no one knows who gives a loan. You could be sitting next to each other, and you even don't know his business. Those days, it was a whole different way. Today, it works differently. That Dina Mechisadina, but otherwise, Dina Mechisadina does not apply. So again, coming back, so to copy something, software, using the disk is a shoy shlom das. The wisdom, that's intellectual property, where we don't find such a thing. The only reason you're not allowed to do it, it's because it's not yosher. That guy works so hard, and you should take away his panosa, like by the fish. So, if a person, the ikka, what many people ask is the CD music, because they buy a CD for music, and the children, it's always young teenagers. Can I copy from my friend? It's not so much anymore. You speak to the young, we don't have teenagers over here. But you speak to teenagers today already, it's a whole different world. I see it change. But used to be you get a CD from someone, and and it says do not copy. It doesn't have. One guy once showed me a CD, but it has the hilchas tznum the way you should make it. It's not sold to you. The going write it down. When you buy a program, it's only registered for you. They tell you if you ever read the fine print, which no one reads. You ever anyone download software? Anyone here knows software? If you look at it, if you look into software, you notice it says in the software it's not yours. You only have rights to use it. They give you for that reason. Someone showed me a CD of music from music. Mamish said the same thing. It's not the CD is not yours, it's mine. You're buying just to be able to listen to music and don't give it out to anyone else. Mamish, that's how. But even if they didn't make such a thing, to produce a CD, I once asked Mordechai ben David, not now, 30 years ago when he was young, 35 years ago, I asked him, how much did it cost you to produce this, those days with tapes? Some of you remember, once upon a time there were no CDs with tapes. And he told me it cost then $40,000. This is going 35 years ago. Just to produce a tape cost them $40,000. Imagine now it's double or triple. So I'm saying, so he spent money. It's like not yosher. You should take it, and he should lose panosa because if you don't copy, your friend is going to buy another one. That's why when people ask, I don't go into details. I just say you're not allowed to, because he spent money to produce the music. It's like based on the Gemara. It's ein bedin that he spent so much money. You should do it.
But for Gideon, it's also because of borrowing. Rabbi just talking about to borrow from a god.
Yeah, I'm going.
what I'm living Jew. So
Yeah, by Yid.
it's
Yeah.
asur.
Intellectual property doesn't make difference.
But intellectual property doesn't make a difference. Intellectual, let's say the CD didn't say this. Just says do not copy, which in halacha means nothing. So the teenager always asks me, my friend wants to copy it, right? So that is not, there's no dishoshon of das, it's mine. The question is now, he's taking away intellectual property because he would buy another one.
Okay, I can tell the person that it says it's not nice. It's not nice means it's asur.
That's so, yeah, the Gemara says you should not allowed to do it.
So that's asur.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to do from it is
It's ein bedin, means you should not allowed to do it.
It would be sira dealer, like fish. That din paskin is not.
Yeah, that means you're not allowed to do it because ein bedin, Tosha explains ein bedin, he works so hard, and you should,
Nowadays they make their music available on video
yeah.
websites.
Well, today, it's a new world.
So it's available for people to listen to it.
When people ask me, I don't like to answer because the young people tell me, today you have to be a young teenager. So one of a young teenager told me, Rabbi, any song we could find on the internet, you have to know how to search for them. Any from song, it's already out there. I always tell them, it's still not Yoshe. You know what I mean? That's the cheshbon. Why can't I copy from him? Okay, I'm going to go on the internet, search, and I'll find it. I just, tell them,
Rabbi, once Rabbi explained, maybe when somebody is speeding, is he endangering other people?
that's a
or not?
separate issue, but it's not the Isser of Dina
No,
Mechisa.
no, maybe some other people in
Yeah,
danger.
that's a separate issue.
That's
Whatever.
Taklat Shecherim.
Yeah.
You know the Malchuta, do you know Taklat Shecherim?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's not Dina Mechisa, that's Shmartim is not Shesechem.
No, but you know the Malchuta, do you know Taklat Shecherim? In other words, there is a din Malchuta, do you know Taklat Shecherim?
Yeah, but it's not an Isser. Tchuna Shechenim is not an Isser. When the Gemara says Tchuna Shechenim means we have a right to implicate it and take away your car. Let's say they find you speeding, you're speeding in Israel, in a front place, and they'll impound your car. You're going to scream, Chutzpah Geneva. Dina Mechisa, and he says, we can take away your car. But you didn't do an issue, you did Shmartim Nafshe Seichan Moshe. That's a separate issue. You know, in America, they always they say, 55, 65, other states it's 70 miles an hour. The safety, that's a separate issue. Let's say it's safe, whatever the speed limit is safe. You're just going faster, or you cross the middle of the street. There's no cars, you're not allowed to cross the middle of the street. You could get a ticket, they could give a pedestrian ticket, it doesn't make a difference when you cross. Middle of the night you can get it. Or you ran a red light, there's no cars, it's 2 in the morning, you see no cars, the cop will give you a ticket. Why are you giving me a ticket? There's no car. It's red, and he has the right to give you a ticket. If it be a Yid, he has the right to give you.
Whatever that Taklat Shecherim, the Malchuta has the authority to impose.
Yeah, but you didn't do an Aveda. That's what I'm saying. It's not an Isur. They have a right to impose it. You know what I mean? Like, they have a right to say, I had another din Torah between two people, and it was building something not according to the zoning thing. So a guy mastered him. I said, it's not called Ma'am The bottom line is there's zoning laws here, and the reason is because this is a nice neighborhood, and you build something which is not nice, very not nice. He built a funny wall or whatever, and they made him take him down. That means it's not. He didn't do Aveda, and he didn't do Aveda. The zoning law says it's not supposed to be there.
Is Rabbi saying Dina de Malchuta Dina is not a chiyuv on us? It's an
chiyuv.
allowance on the government?
It's allowed and going. So if you live in Bnei Brak, you live in a front place, they took your car away, you're going to scream, how could you take my car away? You're gone. We have a right to implicate the laws of the land. We could say, do not park here. If you park, we'll take your car away. That's what it means.
As Jew, can you do it against the Torah?
Can you speak up?
As Jew, can you do Din al-Malchuta against the law of the Torah? Means the Torah allows you to do
No, never. Din Mechis never overrides even.
No, like you said before, Moshe.
Let me quickly explain. This is a very typical question people ask. People unfortunately get divorced. Unfortunately. So the woman goes and she takes half of the husband's, so if a woman does it, she's a Goslin. Dina Mechisa Dina never overrides the Torah. The Torah says you're not partners. The Torah says you're not a partner. Your wife is not a partner with you. If she worked, it's a whole different story. She worked. If she didn't work, let's say wife didn't work, and he has a business, and she mama she Goslin. Because the Ksuba overrides the Dina Mechisa Dina. That's, on the...
buy the CD, can you make a copy?
I don't like to answer that question. Why? Tell you why. Because the young people always go with this cheshbon. I'm not going to buy anyways. How do I know you're not going to buy? Maybe if I tell you no, you might buy it.
Rabbi, regarding Rav's party, how about if there's a shopping center which there are not so many parkings? Rav has Baruch Hashem is big, but there's a small shopping center.
Trader Joe's.
But they don't have, but they don't have so many parking. And if you park there, for sure you're gonna take away, it's costly.
Business.
Yeah, business. Then what? Then there's
That's a groma. By goy, there's no din groma. It's another long topic. By goy, what did I do? I caused them a loss. That's called a groma. You know what groma means? That means I wasn't mazik.
cost.
I caused that a person's not going to come in. That's just called a groma. I just want to say a divrei God that Rabbi asked me to say.
But Rabbi, maybe Rabbi would emphasize a little bit of Shul Hashem. In other words, we are in a community, people with the yarmulke, they come out from the party, everybody sees that he didn't buy. Maybe Rabbi could say a few minutes on Shul Hashem part of it.
It's a long conversation. I'll tell you a Gemara. I don't have time, and you look it up, and you're all going to be shocked. Whenever I say this Gemara over to people, they can't believe there's such a Gemara even. The Gemara says, like the Gemara in Avodah Zarah, it's a Gemara in Masechta Shabbos, I think in Chulin also. The Gemara says, the Yachad Kollel had an illness in his mouth, and it was Thursday. And he went to Amar Tenusa and asked her to give her medicine. So she gave him Thursday, Friday. Yachad comes to her and she tells to the lady, tomorrow I'll be teaching all day long. I need the medicine. So he says, promise me you're not going to tell anyone. Swear to me. So Rabbi Yochanan, Lekud Yisrael, the Lord Megillin, to the God of Israel, I'm not going to say. Afterwards, she tells him the secret. She goes in the Medrash, and he teaches the medicine. First thing what it says is Oiva Shvua. How did Yochanan? When it said Yochanan didn't swear to her. I swear to the God of Israel, I'm not going to tell. But the Amad Yisrael, I'm going to tell. That's the one. That's what the Gemara says. The Gemara says, but she doesn't know. She's a Chil Hashem because she thinks you've over the Shvua. The Gemara says, right after he swore, she told him. The Yochanan tells her, I'm going tomorrow to say this medicine in public. Ha, ha, ha. I got you this time. I'm going to say this medicine in public. And because I didn't swear to you, I swore to the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rishalma brings this story. The Rishalma brings two. One of them says she committed suicide, because this was a whole panasa. One of them says she was so inspired by the Yochanan, she became a Gioidus. That's a Rishalma. But if you tell this to a normal guy, you tell you there's the biggest Chil Hashem. It's the biggest Chil Hashem. I mean, she stole it away. Chil Hashem is a huge mistake that people have. Chil Hashem means that the goy thinks you did an Aveda. I explained to the goy that I didn't do an Aveda. See, this Gemara also tells you an amazing thing. Yochanan stole from her the intellectual property. She had a medication and she was the only one, a monopoly in this medication. The Yochanan stole it to her and sold it for free. Imagine I would go to what's the name, to Microsoft and download it and sell it for free. That's what Yochanan did. She had a patent and she was the only one. I don't have time. I want to just thank the rabbi. I have to give another shir. David should help you all, that you should have Chag Sameach. And I'm going to tell you one thing I always, as a chassid, I always tell people. It's easier to keep all the chumras and Pesach. It's easy to, I don't know if you ask, Sfardim have the minig with the chalav, like we have busy with the milk, cheesecakes on Shavuos. The Sfardim have this minig, yes? Do you know why? The Melech says, Cham libi bekirbi. Cham libi bekirbi is Rushteves chalav. There's a Tosis brings down a fascinating meditation of Avodah Zarah. The Beinah Kodesh, when he was born, the Beinah Kodesh, there was Romans made Xera not to make a bris. And Rabbeinu Kush's mother made him a bris. So he was arrested. As she was waiting with the child, Antonius was a baby. Antonius' mother gave a liking to her. And Harachmana says, let's switch the babies. So when you come, you saw there was no bris. So there was, and she showed no bris. So the mother says Antoninus, for that 2 hours, nursed from Rabbeinu Kodesh's mother. For that reason, Antoninus loved Torah. Yeah, because she nursed from her, the famous Antoninus later, that's why Cham, says, but your nurse has an incredible effect on the person. I just want to wish you all that you should, the biggest challenge, Yontev, is to be happy. You know, as you notice, 99% of people are never happy, and for no valid reason. We walk around thinking we have a good reason not to be happy, but the truth is, we are the luckiest people ever lived on since Od Marish was kicked out of Gan Eden. You know, we are unbelievable lucky. No one had such a good life as we. Since Od Marish kicked out, who had, you know, I'm going to drive now, I don't even know how to get back to my shia, but I put on Waze, they'll tell me how to get there. It's unbelievable how lucky we are. And we walk around like people in the villages and the shtetl, not knowing about. That is the curse that Adam Rishon got with Tzuvah Tachlenu. In order to be simcha, you have to skim vasei. Doesn't see. Depression never gets invited. He just slips through the doors. Doesn't get invited. Happiness has to be invited. You have to tell yourself to be happy. In the depression, no one ever went to a therapist and said, I don't know how to be angry. Teach me how to be angry. I don't know how to be depressed. Teach me. And now on this, we all know how to be angry. I had 2 grandchildren last year, they were 2-year-olds. And I tell them one lives in Lakewood and one lives in Flatbush. I tell my wife, it looks like they went to the same yeshiva. These 2 both put up the same tantrum. Exact same tantrum. It's just part of us how to be unhappy. We should help you all. We should have a zeicha simchas yalta. Thank you.